Hi, this is David NG, and today we're gonna finally look at one side limit versus two side limits. So before you guys learn about one side limits, so we're always introduced to the idea of two side limits, right? So what's the difference between one side limit and a two side limit? So on the one side limit, you're separating a limit into two sections. So let me do like a graphically so you'll understand it easily. So let's say we have the function y equals to x squared, right? So the function should be something like that, right? And let's say we want to find the limit as x approaches 2 of x squared, right? Well, at this case, so that will just give you us 4. So that's the the two-side limit value for this function, right? So what does the one side mean? So what is this minus and this plus thing? How does this different than this? So what does minus mean is that minus means that in my second video I talk in my first video I talk about x approaching the x approaching this x is approaching that particular x values and at the same time approaching the y values from both sides. And what we mean by negative is when it approaches from the left side, which is like this side that we're going up. And then what we mean by plus is that we want to approach it by the right side. So this might sound confusing, but I'm sure it will get easier if I show you the example here. So let's say we have a graph like this. Well, this is not a very well drawn graph, but well, let's see. So limit of x approaches 1 plus. So remember what I said? Plus is approaching from this side, so from the right to the left. So it goes like this, right? So in this case, at 1, so it approaches. So what is the function value when it approaches at this point from this side, right? What is it? It's 0. Because if you can see, it approaches from this side and approaches this, which is 0, right? And then we want to look at the limit of x approaches 1 negative f of x, which is like what I said, is opposite of plus, which is approaching from the left to the right instead of the right to the left. So it's approaching from this side. And then the plus is approaching from this side, right? So what is the value when it approaches from 1 negative, right? Well, it's 2. Because here, limit of x to 1 from minus, so it approaches from here, right? So, and then the y value should always be 2. And then you see a problem here. So when I approach from plus and minus, I get different values. What? So what does that mean to the two-side limit when we write it? It means this, so it means limit of x approaches 1 of f of x does not exist, because 2 and 0 are different values, and when you have different values approaching from different side, that limit does not exist. So for example, in this x squared problem, right, no matter how we approach it, either from the left side or either from the right side, we'll get 4. But in this scenario where we approach from the left side and we get a 0, we get 2, and we approach from the right side and we get 0. What, right? They're having different values. Instead of, it's different from here, because here we approach from like two sides and we get 4, right? We both get 4, so the answer should just be 4. But in this case, we get different. So what does that indicate? That indicates our limit at this point does not exist. So to summarize, the limit of approaching when you write the one side limit as negative, is approaching from the left to the right, and when you're writing plus beside that a is approaching from the right to the left. And when these two values are different, the limit does not exist.